Welcome to the Shigeaki Podcast. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and if you're over 60 and care about your health, today's episode is one you don't want to miss. And as usual, there is always a companion with me, that is Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. Let's talk about something sitting quietly in your kitchen. It's not a fancy supplement or a new medication. It's something most people believe is pure and healing. It's garlic. Now garlic has a legendary reputation. People call it a superfood. Some say it helps lower blood pressure, clean the arteries, fight inflammation, and even boost immunity. And the truth is garlic can do all of those things, but only if you use it the right way. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. His name is Richard. He's 69 years old and generally very healthy. A few months ago, he came to me complaining about stomach discomfort, dizziness, and trouble sleeping. He didn't know what was causing it. When I asked about his diet, he proudly told me that every morning he crushed and swallowed 2 raw cloves of garlic. No food, just garlic and water. He believed he was doing something amazing for his heart, but his body didn't agree. The raw garlic on an empty stomach was irritating his gut, affecting his blood pressure, and making him feel worse, not better.
That's a common story, Mark. Garlic is incredibly powerful. It contains a compound called allicin, which is responsible for most of its health benefits. Allicin has strong anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antiviral properties, but it also has a very sharp edge. As we age, our bodies change. The stomach lining becomes more sensitive. The liver and kidneys don't process things as efficiently. This means that raw garlic, which might be tolerable at 30, could become too harsh at 60 or 70. Many seniors experience bloating, gas acid reflux, or even lightheadedness after eating garlic, especially when it's raw or eaten in large amounts. Garlic can also interfere with medications, especially blood thinners. That's why I always say garlic is like a natural medicine. And like any medicine, it must be used with care, not casually.
Exactly. We're not here to tell you to avoid garlic. In fact, we both use it ourselves and recommend it often to our patients. But we need to understand that garlic is not just a flavor. It's a functional food with very real effects on the body. So if you're using garlic daily, especially if you're over 60, there's a good chance you might be making one or more common mistakes. And that's what today's episode is about.
We'll be sharing 10 garlic mistakes that older adults often make. These include mistakes with timing, dosage, preparation, and even how you cook it. And for each one, we'll give you simple solutions so you can still enjoy garlic and get all its benefits without the side effects, because when garlic is used wisely, it becomes a powerful tool for longevity. But when it's used blindly, it can cause discomfort, confusion, and even harm.
If you have aging parents or grandparents who love garlic, this episode might be one of the most useful things you can share with them. So go ahead, click like, hit subscribe, and share this with someone you care about. Because garlic isn't the enemy, but misuse is. Ready to dive into mistake number 1. Let's go.
All right, let's jump into the first and perhaps most common garlic mistake we see, especially among older adults. It's the idea that raw garlic is always better. So some people with the best intentions crush up a few cloves and swallow them first thing in the morning before eating anything else. Now, on paper, that might sound powerful, but in practice, it can backfire. Eating raw garlic on an empty stomach can cause a burning sensation, stomach cramps, acid reflux, and even nausea. Why does this happen? Well, garlic is strong. It's pungent and contains sulfur compounds like allicin. These compounds are incredibly beneficial, but they're also very intense for your stomach lining, especially if there's no food to buffer it.
Yes, I've seen this in many patients. They want to help their heart or lower blood pressure, so they start their day with garlic and water. But after a few days, they begin to feel bloated or uncomfortable, and they don't realize the garlic is the cause. For people over 60, the digestive system becomes more sensitive. So raw garlic on an empty stomach is simply too harsh. Instead, here's the fix. Always eat garlic after a meal, preferably a meal that includes some healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or a small piece of salmon. The fat helps buffer the garlic and improves absorption without irritating your gut.
That one small change just shifting when you eat garlic can make a huge difference in how your body responds. Ready for mistake number 2? Let's keep going.
Let's move on to mistake number 2, and it's a big one literally. Some people think that if a little garlic is good, then a lot must be better. But that's not how the body works. Garlic is powerful, and when you use too much of it every day, it can actually become a burden on your system, not a benefit.
Absolutely. I've had patients who were eating 4 or 5 cloves of garlic daily, sometimes raw, sometimes cooked. They were doing it for heart health or cholesterol. But then they came in with issues like bad breath that wouldn't go away, loose stools, or even unexplained fatigue. And what many people don't realize is that garlic has a natural blood-thinning effect. This can be helpful in the right dose, but if you're already on medications like aspirin or warfarin, eating too much garlic could increase your risk of bleeding.
That's why moderation is so important, especially for seniors. Your liver and digestive system aren't as quick to process high doses of strong compounds like they were at age 30. So here's our simple guideline: stick to 1 to 2 cloves of garlic per day. That's enough to get the health benefits without overwhelming your body.
And if you're using garlic every day and start to notice bloating, smelly sweat, or fatigue, that's your body sending a message. More isn't always better. Smarter is better. All right, let's keep going. Mistake number 3 is one most people don't even know they're making.
All right, mistake number 3 is one that even some great home cooks make, and they don't realize it's costing them the most powerful part of garlic. It's this chopping or crushing garlic and then immediately cooking it.
Yes, garlic only releases its most important compound, allicin, after it's been crushed and allowed to sit for a few minutes. Allicin is what gives garlic its strong smell, but also its incredible health benefits, things like lowering inflammation, fighting infections, and supporting heart health. But here's the catch: if you chop garlic and throw it straight into a hot pan, allicin never fully forms. Heat destroys the enzyme that creates it. So even though you're adding garlic to your food, you're missing the most valuable part.
The fix is easy. After chopping or crushing garlic, just let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before cooking. That short waiting time allows the enzyme reaction to finish and fully activate the allicin. It's a simple habit, but it makes a huge difference. Garlic that's had time to breathe is garlic that heals. All right, coming up next, a mistake that could be dangerous if you're on medication.
Now let's talk about mistake number 4, and this one can be dangerous if you're not aware of it. It's using garlic alongside blood-thinning medications like aspirin or warfarin.
That's right. Garlic naturally thins the blood. It makes platelets less sticky, which can help prevent clots. On its own, that can be a great thing. But if you're already on a prescription blood thinner, and then you add garlic supplements or eat a lot of raw garlic, you're basically doubling the effect. That can lead to easy bruising, nosebleeds, or even internal bleeding in severe cases. Garlic is natural, yes, but natural doesn't always mean safe for every situation. Interaction matters, especially after 60. Coming up next, a cooking mistake that many people make without even realizing it's reducing garlic's power.
And don't forget, garlic can also lower blood pressure. So if you're taking medication for hypertension, combining that with a lot of garlic might push your pressure too low, making you feel dizzy or weak. That's why our message here is simple but important. If you're on any kind of blood thinner or blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor before increasing your garlic intake, especially in supplement form.
Yes, garlic is delicate. When you expose it to very high temperatures like sizzling oil or an overheated pan, its most beneficial compounds, especially allicin, get destroyed almost instantly. You might still smell the garlic, but the healing power is mostly gone. So, you're left with flavor, but not function. It's like having the shell of garlic without the soul of it.
All right, mistake number 5 is a cooking habit that a lot of people don't even question. But it's quietly reducing the benefits of garlic in your meals. It's cooking garlic on high heat, especially when it's the first thing you throw into a hot pan.
Here's the better way. Use medium heat and add garlic later in the cooking process, not at the very beginning. That way, it gently warms without burning, and you still preserve much of its therapeutic value. Or if you're adding it to soup or stew, try stirring it in during the last 5 minutes of cooking instead of the first. This small change will lead to big impact.
Now I understand why people do it. Garlic adds aroma, and many recipes say to sauté it first. But for health purposes, especially if you're using garlic to support your heart immunity or inflammation, this is not the best approach.
Exactly. Garlic is a supportive food, not a substitute for critical medications. It can assist the body's healing, but it cannot fight a severe bacterial infection like a prescribed antibiotic. And it cannot control dangerously high blood pressure the way medication can. This kind of thinking can be risky, especially for older adults who may already be managing heart disease, diabetes, or kidney issues. Replacing your medication with garlic without medical guidance can do more harm than good.
Now let's talk about a mindset mistake, not just a cooking one. Mistake number 6 is treating garlic like it's a magic cure for everything. We hear this all the time. Someone says, "I don't need my blood pressure meds, I'm eating garlic now." Or, "I'll skip the antibiotics, I'll just take raw garlic instead." And listen, we both love garlic. It has real medicinal properties. It helps reduce inflammation, supports immune function, and may gently lower blood pressure over time. But here's the truth, garlic is not a replacement for medical treatment.
Let's move on to mistake number 7, and this one can be painful if you're not careful. It's putting raw garlic directly on your skin. I know many people try this as a home remedy. They read that garlic can kill bacteria or reduce inflammation, so they slice a clove and rub it on a mole, a pimple, or even a bug bite. But here's the problem. Raw garlic is extremely potent. It contains sulfur compounds like allicin, which are powerful, but they can also irritate and even burn the skin, especially if left on for more than a few minutes.
The best way to think about garlic is like this. It's your ally, not your armor. Use it to support your health alongside smart lifestyle habits and proper care. Coming up next is a mistake that happens on the skin, not in the kitchen, and it can really burn.
Or, better yet, lightly roast or bake the garlic first. That softens its harsh compounds while keeping many of its soothing properties. Garlic can help, but not when it harms the skin. Be gentle, be wise, and you'll get the benefits safely.
We've seen cases of redness, blistering, and even chemical burns just from raw garlic being taped to the skin overnight. That's a harsh outcome from something that was meant to heal. So here's how to fix it. If you want to use garlic, topically always dilute it. You can crush 1 clove and mix it with a carrier oil, like olive oil or coconut oil. That helps reduce the irritation.
What many people forget is that garlic is a strong medicinal food, and everyone's digestive system is different, especially as we age. For example, if you already have a sensitive gut, garlic might trigger symptoms that feel like irritation or mild food poisoning. That's not because garlic is bad, but because your body needs a gentler approach.
Now let's look at mistake number 8. It's something we see far too often, and that is not paying attention to how your body reacts to garlic. Just because garlic is natural doesn't mean it's right for everyone. Some people keep using it even when their body is clearly saying, "This isn't working for me." Common signs include bad breath, strong body odor, stomach cramps, bloating, or even diarrhea. And sometimes garlic may cause fatigue or headaches, especially if eaten in large amounts. So the key here is simple. Listen to your body. If garlic makes you feel worse, even just a little, take a break. Try a smaller amount. Use cooked garlic instead of raw, or combine it with other soothing foods, like olive oil or yogurt. I want to say more. Health isn't about forcing things. It's about adjusting wisely. Garlic can support your health, but only if your body agrees with it.
All right, mistake number 9 is about something most people don't check, and that's the quality of the garlic you're buying. Many people grab a bulb of garlic at the store without really looking at it, but old garlic, especially garlic that's soft, moldy, or sprouting, can actually be dangerous.
That's because garlic, like many root vegetables, can grow mold when stored too long or in damp conditions, and that mold can produce aflatoxins, a type of toxin linked to liver stress and even cancer risk over time. You may notice dark spots, black or green patches, or A musty smell. If you see that, toss it out. Don't just cut the mold off and think it's safe. Once the fungus is inside, the toxins may have already spread beyond what the eye can see.
The safer option is simple. Choose garlic that feels firm dry and has tight skin. The cloves should be plump and free from bruises or dark spots. Avoid bulbs that have sprouted green shoots. That's a sign they're old and losing potency. Fresh garlic not only tastes better, but also gives you the full health benefits you're looking for without the hidden risks. And coming up next is the final mistake, and it's one that's surprisingly emotional for a lot of people.
And now we've arrived at mistake number 10, one that sounds modern and easy, but can quietly cause problems. It's taking garlic supplements or pills without paying attention to how your body reacts. A lot of people over 60 switch to garlic pills because they don't like the smell or taste of fresh garlic. And yes, the idea sounds great, all the benefits of garlic in one little capsule.
But here's the thing. These pills often contain highly concentrated garlic extract, and the dosage can be much higher than what you'd get from food. That means you're getting a medicinal dose sometimes without realizing it. And because it's a pill, people assume it's safe. But garlic in supplement form can still thin the blood, irritate the stomach, or interfere with medications, just like raw garlic can.
That's why we always recommend this. Before adding any garlic pill to your routine, talk to your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you're on medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood thinners. Also, start low. Take note of how your body responds. Watch for signs like bloating, fatigue, or headaches. Supplements are tools, but they require care. All right, those are the 10 big mistakes. Coming up next, we'll show you exactly how to enjoy garlic safely and powerfully after 60.
Now that we've walked through the 10 most common mistakes, let's talk about something even more important: how to use garlic safely after age 60. You see, garlic is powerful, and just like any powerful tool, it needs to be handled with care, especially for older adults. There are 3 main concerns we often see when garlic is overused or not used appropriately in this age group. First, garlic can lower blood pressure, which is great when it's needed. But for someone already on blood pressure medications, it can push levels too low, leading to dizziness, fatigue, or even fainting. Second, garlic can irritate the stomach and gut lining. This is especially true when eaten raw or on an empty stomach. We've seen cases of heartburn, acid reflux, and upset digestion that were all linked back to how garlic was being consumed. Third, garlic has natural blood-thinning properties. If you're also taking medications like aspirin or warfarin, combining the two without supervision can increase the risk of internal bleeding or slow wound healing.
Those are real concerns, Mark. And from what I've seen, there are a few groups of people who really need to be extra careful with garlic. If you have digestive issues like ulcers, acid reflux, or a sensitive stomach, raw garlic might not be your friend. Also, if you're already on medication for blood pressure or circulation, or if your body tends to run hot, meaning you get warm, easily break out in rashes, or feel bloated, garlic could aggravate that. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it at all.
Exactly. It's not about avoiding garlic, it's about using it in a way that supports your body. Here are a couple of smart adjustments. If raw garlic doesn't sit well with you, try cooked garlic, which is much gentler on the stomach. Even better, consider black garlic. It's aged, soft, sweet, and has less of the intense compounds that cause irritation, while still offering strong antioxidant effects. Also, don't forget to listen to your body. If you feel bloated, tired, or off after eating garlic, reduce the dose or change the form. Your body will guide you. So, in summary, garlic is still your friend after 60, but it's a friend you need to get to know and respect. The right dose, the right timing, and the right form can make all the difference.
So, in summary, garlic is still your friend after 60, but it's a friend you need to get to know and respect. The right dose, the right timing, and the right form can make all the difference.
Finally, here's what we hope you take away from today's episode. Garlic is a gift from nature. It's been used for centuries across cultures as both food and medicine. But just like any powerful remedy, the more strength it holds, the more care it requires. Everything you've heard about garlic, its ability to support heart health, reduce blood pressure, fight infections, and protect your body from oxidative stress, it's all true. But those benefits only show up when garlic is used with understanding.
If you're over 60, the goal isn't to remove garlic from your diet. You don't need to be afraid of it. What you need is a healthy relationship with it. Know when to use it. Know how much is enough. And most importantly, pay attention to how your body responds. Some people will do better with cooked garlic. Others might benefit from a smaller daily amount or from switching to black garlic, and that's okay. Garlic isn't one size fits all, it's personal. When you use garlic the right way, you may notice better digestion, deeper sleep, clearer skin, and stronger immunity. It becomes a partner in your daily routine, not a source of discomfort.
So let's not treat garlic like a magic bullet or a villain. It's neither. It's a friend, a strong friend. And like any good friendship, it works best with respect and care. If you eat garlic every day, or know someone who does share this episode with them, don't let a healthy food become a hidden burden. And as always, if you found this helpful, click like, hit subscribe, and share this with someone you love. Because smart choices lead to strong bodies, even with something as simple as garlic.